There are contradictions over whether the KwaZulu-Natal school nutrition program challenges have been addressed or not. The KwaZulu-Natal Nutrition Business Forum has contradicted the provincial government's assertions that no learner will go hungry, as all the logistical challenges have been resolved and schools are now getting their food packs. Thousands of learners, mostly in the Ugu district, went hungry for days following the province's decision to change the supply model. The forum claims that the KZN school feeding scheme is facing a total collapse. It represents suppliers from all over the province. So let's get some more information about what's happening with this feeding scheme program. Lindani Matiwane is the secretary at KwaZulu-Natal's Nutrition Business Forum. Lindani, thank you so much for making time for us this afternoon. What is happening with the feeding scheme? Is there food in schools or not?
Thank you for giving us time and the opportunity. One would wish to say this is hilarious, but in all fairness, there is nothing funny about it, because we are speaking of learners who some of them needs or depends on this meal, which is the only decent meal that they will get, which is guaranteed on the day. Whatever that has been said, I will tell you that is not true. Because as it is right now, you can do your own survey, visit any school at randomly, go to the principal and ask, have they received their goods? If yes, is it all in order? All the quantities are there. The quantities, the commodities, are they all there? Have they started cooking and preparing? Unfortunately, what is disappointing even further, those who have managed to cook whatever the little that have been delivered to them, it's not in good order. It's a pity. One can show you the pictures right now of the SEM that was not good, the beans and the SEM. So it's a ridiculous what they are actually saying.
Mm-hmm.
I would have appreciated a situation whereby the department would come up clean and said, we were trying something new. We were overwhelmed. We're not sure of how to implement this. And definitely there are challenges and hiccups, because in all fairness, the program is bigger than the individual. It's not about the officials of the department. It's not about us as well as the suppliers, much as we are one of the beneficiaries that needs to benefit out of the program. Because initially the program, when it was re-established during 1994, it was to look and take care of the learners, the previously disadvantaged, the women, the widowers, the youth, in terms of employment. We know the situation in South Africa regarding employment. So there is no stakeholder that is not important out of the program. Yeah. You can't prioritize one and leave one behind.
So what do you think makes government in KwaZulu-Natal to think that this situation has not reached crisis level? The Premier, Nomusa Dube-Ncube, has been on record to say only a few schools in that Ugu region, in the South Coast, are still without food. I even heard even the MEC for Education, while delivering her department's budget, claiming that all the challenges that have been resolved and schools are now getting their food packs.
It's disappointing. It's a disappointing situation. Because, like I've said earlier, maybe it would have been understood if they would said, no, we were overwhelmed, and maybe they need some help, assistance, and advice in order to make this thing to be a success. But coming out boldly and say there is no problem, that is not true. We have schools that have rejected the food. The school principal said, no, the quantities are too far much smaller than what they've expected. So they do not even know what to do with that. So rather, we deliver when all the commodities are there and the quantities are correct quantities. That is the situation we have right now. We have schools that have written letters on record stating that they haven't received food, or they have received food that is far too short than what they are expecting. And some commodities are not there. Let me make an example to you. Some of us, for instance, let me talk about myself because I'm a supplier as well. I have received some raw goods, but there was no veg whatsoever. There were no soya, SAM on it. A lot of commodities were not there. So there is no way that you can even start and prepare a decent meal out of that.
Yeah. There's a claim that the scheme has collapsed because those who lost out during the bidding process were preventing the delivery of the foods to the schools. How true is that?
That is hilarious, if I may say, because what was happening previously and what is happening now, it's two different things. Not even once previously where learners have never received food when they were supposed to receive food during the old system, or when suppliers were given full mandate to go and buy foods. Those people delivered food, and they even went an extra mile. They even bought utensils, which is something that is not our responsibility, just to make sure that the cooking happens, you know. It's something that is shameful for the department to come out bold and say that. Let's say they are correct. Let me just say they were correct. What were the mechanisms that they've introduced in order to help and assist those suppliers in their challenges? Only now they are prepared to give this current supplier a 3 months payment in advance, something that they have never done before with the previous suppliers. We would go for 3 months without receiving a single pay, but we will continue feeding. This time around, this one is in a position to be able to be given a 3 months payment in advance. I don't want to go into figures in terms of how much are we talking about. If that was a solution, why couldn't they introduce the same method to the previous suppliers as well?
Why did government decide to change the supplier? What is it that government wasn't happy about when you guys were the suppliers?
It's a big question. It's the question that me, myself, and I are asking. You know, it tells you there is something that is more than what you see offhand. You know.
Are you considering approaching the courts?
Most definitely.
And what are you? Do you know what you will challenge specifically? Is there still an opportunity to sit down with the authorities in KwaZulu-Natal, or has that ship sailed and the next step possible is litigation?
That was our first action. We started by sending emails. I might not be accurate with date right now because I don't have all the records with me, but we started by sending emails to HOD's office, Director of Nutrition's office. We even sent an email to Treasury's office. We could see that no one is responding. We took an initiative to go there with a memorandum. We submitted the memorandum in the head office and both in our Treasury's office. We were happy because at Treasury's office, the HOD was there. So she came personally to listen to us and accepted the MOU. But nothing happened. Instead, there were these reports and allegations that are spreading around the press release, and that's why yesterday we took the decision to say, no, let's come out clean as well ourselves and portray the exact picture, what is transpiring out there. And we did that. So basically, we were more than ready to sit down, discuss and talk and find out and find a way forward.
All right.
We were more than ready. But right now, I'm skeptical, if you will have an official who would boldly go to the media and say something that is not correct. I do not know if we go to the table and sit down and discuss. Are we going to be doing that in good faith or not?
Well, Lindani, Matiwane, thank you for making time for us. Let's hope there's going to be a resolution to this so that not many more children are going to be left without food, because a lot of them, as you said, are relying on this feeding scheme.